Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator, and I have the pleasure of doing this interview slash educating Matt with Lisa S. Ware. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Yes. Hello.
Fantastic. Okay, great. And we met through the APAC conference for industry professionals in the audiobook world. And I really wanted to grab some of her time and some of her brain because what I've discovered as a narrator doing multiple characters from multiple regions of the US is that I could use some tips and general education on Southern accents. Typically, when I approach a Southern accent or before I was enlightened, I would think there's two kinds of Southern accents. There is the Gone with the Wind Southern accent. They were hiding behind hay bales. They were planting in the full moon, thinking all the hair for something new.
Mhm.
And then there's the Deliverance Southern accent. They were hiding behind hay bales. They were planting in the full moon. They get all the hair for something new. Um, so I've learned, thanks to Lisa, that there are many types, and actually they are pretty darn obvious to people in different regions of the South. Now, having
Mhm.
grown up in Maine and hearing the Maine, down east Maine accent mangled through Hollywood, I empathize with this sensitivity. I also empathize with what actors are going through to try and create an approximation and a consistency. So hopefully the two shall be wedded as Lisa and I talk. Welcome, Lisa.
Why, thank you. Thank you very much, Matt. And yeah, I can imagine with the Maine accent. I I've made a couple of attempts at that, so now I have a nice resource to call upon when I need that one again. Because whoo, I was glad I only had a couple of lines of it. I was like, is this close? And I'm not even going to try to do it again now.
Okay, well, yeah, I will be stepping out onto the wire and get some coaching from Lisa, which you all get to then laugh at with this video series. Um, Lisa, first of all, let's start with your history with audiobooks and voice acting, and then we'll get into your history with the Southern region.
Okay. As of right now, this recording in 2021, I have, I believe, 38 books live and two in progress and a few down in the pipeline. Um, all across the board, I kind of specialize in nonfiction. I
Mm,
do a little bit of Western romance, and I did do a series of paranormal shifter romances,
mhm.
but my focus is primarily the nonfiction. What I'm currently recording is a nonfiction book on the pursuit of happiness in the founding era. So
Mm.
I have a degree in philosophy and a degree in English. So yeah, all that I find that kind of stuff interesting.
Yeah, yeah, great. And I mean, it also must help with pronunciations as well, because
It
you know what
does.
you're
I already
talking
know what
about.
epistemology is.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, does your education in the Southern accent play into that nonfiction? That's something that I don't think a lot of people would guess, but
It did a little bit. Because I was able to, I had the honor of doing a book that was the socialization of white children. It was about socialization of white children in the Jim Crow South.
mhm.
And it was a very accurate depiction because I was essentially raised in the Jim Crow South. I was raised in Mississippi in the 70s.
Mm,
Um, by parents who were, one was from New Orleans, Louisiana, and the other one was from a very small town in Alabama. And we lived on a farm in Mississippi. So I was exposed to all of the Southern accents from
mm.
that Southern Belle, the full blown Scarlett O'Hara accent that's where they got it from because there are my family talks like this. The Alabama family, this is how they talk.
Mm.
This is what my one of my aunts, this is almost exactly what she sounds like.
Mm.
And then, the and so that's where the Scarlett O'Hara got it from. And it's very close to the English RP, the received pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take the English RP and you just hold that jaw, that bottom of the jaw, you keep it all stiff. You just and that's how you do the RP.
Mm-hmm.
They keep the stiff upper lip and everything's all
Right. That's
not
right.
moving.
Right.
And you just start flailing around, and that's that Southern Belle accent.
Okay. Now, with
That makes sense.
yeah, absolutely. So let's dive right into this. Now, with English RP, there is the stiff upper lip, right? But there's also the R drop. Now, I noticed that when you were doing your aunt and that sort of thing, there was not the R drop. There was still the R being pronounced. So tell me more about that.
A lot of that is my accent reduction that I've already done on myself. See, if I were to say it with it would be aunt.
Okay.
That's that aya. That's what it is. It's the y that's added.
Okay. Aunt.
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 Yeah.
Not aunt, but aunt.
Not aunt, but aunt. Exactly. That's your vowel change. Like my sister, her name is Anne. How would you pronounce that? Yep.
Anne, right? But
Anne.
but coming from New England, I'd be Anne.
Her name's Anne.
Right.
Everybody in the world calls her Anne.
Yeah.
To this day, even though generally speaking, I don't really speak with much of a Southern accent, I call her Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She's still Anne.
Anne.
My friends think it's hilarious. So that's one of the main vowel sounds, and also that comes out with the eyes. You go ah.
Right.
You make those couple of vowel sounds, and that's really all you need to do to indicate a Southern accent. The rest of it is so individual dialect that we could talk for hours and not even touch it. I mean, like right now, I live in Western North Carolina. In North Carolina, there are 100 counties. There are no less than 100 dialects in this state.
My goodness.
I mean, in Asheville, it's everything from the mountain guys that you can't hardly even understand what they're saying it because it's all up in here in the nasal and just it's all up in here. And it's right here. It's real tinny. And it's like they talk with the upper lip stuck and it's fast.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. That's something that I didn't think about because yeah, typically when people tell me about the mindset,
the Southerns are slow.
exactly, because people tell me like the mindset and the climate of Southern, it's hot, so you talk really slow and that sort of thing. And
and we're kind of stupid, so we talk really. You have to take things slow. And honestly, it is hot in the South, and that is part of the reason. But a lot of it is it's more relaxed in some of it, but in the mountains, it's not. In the mountains, it's a little bit more high strung. And that's kind of the Appalachian range or Appalachian, depending on who you ask.
That's what I was wondering too. Yeah.
Honestly, I use either. It depends on the context. It fully depends on the context because, again, I live in Asheville, North Carolina. I could go down to the store and talk to 6 locals, and each one of them would tell me a different thing. There's
probably with very strong opinions, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's one town in here in the area that it has to come from Britain. It's Leicester is how it's kind of like, any of the Worcester or any of those.
Right.
And around here, it's Leicester, it's Leicester. Depends on who you ask.